Hello again, this is Nick Roach. I haven't created any videos for a few weeks, so it was about time to get on with one. We're outside again, nice evening. There might be some insects flying around attracted by the lights. Hopefully it's alright. And hopefully the sound's okay as well. I've had wind noise in the past, and I found that apparently if you wrap fake fur around the microphone, it's supposed to stop the wind from creating wind turbulence through the foam of the microphone. If it works, I wish I'd known that a year ago, but so be it. So tonight I'd like to say a few words about solipsism and how it relates or doesn't relate to spiritual enlightenment. You see, solipsism is the philosophical idea or concept that only information in your own mind exists, and the world is created by the senses of your body, your mind, and everything therefore exists in your mind, and all the people and all the things only create because your mind creates them. Nothing exists outside of your mind. And solipsism is to believe that, apparently. Now, when speaking about spiritual enlightenment, self-realization, God realization, being awake in Maya, the illusion, realizing there's only one. Eventually, if one's really done it all, I'll say all the way, one has really realized it, one doesn't know that ultimately there is only one, and I'm a little part of it. One actually becomes that one. One becomes God realized. Not because anyone's special, because it's what's looking out of your eyes now. You are it. So I'm not saying I'm special. It's you. You maybe just haven't realised it yet, but you are it, because there's only one, and you are here. But what happens is, over time, as one spends more time holding on to the space, the awareness, the bit that's watching, the I am, feeling that and being aware of that, and being less absorbed in the emotion, the likes and dislikes, opinions and beliefs. And when the emotion comes up, if you experience it consciously, and the emotion gets dissolved, and that is the attachment to being separate, one becomes more and more in tune and aware and at one with what's happening here, and begins to see oneself in everything that happens around, because this is all one's own reflection. Oneself externalized. Eventually, as Ramana Maharishi called it, one is abiding in self. The space looking out of your eyes now, you merge with it so much, and then merge back with what is, till it's just one experience of being. And that experience which you are is the only experience, the only one, because that is God realization. Everything exists within the space that you are. Not because you're special, but because it's the same now anyway. You just might not know it yet. So nothing changes except you realise what's already happening. You realise everything is one, and you become that one because everything is one. To claim everything is one but I'm not it is just nonsense, isn't it? It doesn't make sense. But that's what they all say. I say all because there are a lot of people who claim to be enlightened, claim to be spiritual teachers, enlightened teachers, who accuse me of solipsism when I talk about this, because they say it's impossible to become God realized. It's impossible to realize this as one's own being, the only being. It's impossible, they say. And that's solipsism, to believe that you can. And yet they say they're enlightened teachers. Enlightenment takes all sorts. It's only a word. People can attribute it to any experience or insight or belief they like. But if we take the traditional view of it, that enlightenment is to be at one with everything, you go back through all the traditions, read them all, become God realized at one, the one, the master consciousness. This is what it means. To be the one mind, the one being, the one consciousness behind everything that happens. Because there is only one, and you are it. But if you compare that with solipsism, which is someone in their intellectual thinking mind, intellectually deciding, yes, I don't know that anything else exists if my mind doesn't tell me, therefore only my mind exists, and I'm alone here because my mind doesn't create anything else. That's not God realization. That's not spiritual enlightenment. It's adopting a philosophical concept as fact. And that's so far removed from enlightenment, it's just silly. But people who don't know what enlightenment is, or don't accept that it is to become the one being behind all things, throw that in the pot as an argument, partly to say that enlightenment is not what the other people say it is, but also so they themselves can then claim to be enlightened. Because they already think they're enlightened, but other people say it's something else, and their minds, the little personal mind, can't comprehend the idea of being the one being behind everything. It's too vast, too much responsibility, too shocking to be alone here, to be this. So they'd rather try and discredit the ones who are there by saying, oh, they're just talking solipsism, ignore them, I'm the teacher, I'm the spiritual enlightened one, listen to me. Solipsism is a philosophical concept taken as fact, belief. Enlightenment is dissolving one's personal, selfish self, the emotional attachment of being separate to such a degree that eventually the one being behind all things is all that's left. And you are abiding in self. You're self-realized, you're God-realized. There's no belief in that. You're just what's left.